Quentin Johnston was one of our waiver wire priorities for this week. Quentin Johnston coming off an awesome game, 22 fantasy points, 4 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown on 5 targets. His yards per target was 23.8. And Quentin Johnston has had some of his big games. He's had some stinkers too. But this is an offense with, Ladd McConkey and Justin Herbert in general, like, has just looked better. Like, it looks like things are clicking a little bit. And we talked about this in the offseason, Anthony. We said, at least I said, my worry about Justin Herbert in the beginning of the season was he's dealing with a foot injury. He's got new receivers around him, and it's a new offense. Like, it could take him time to end up playing well. And we're starting to see him start to learn that offense more and that offense start to play better. Quentin Johnston is definitely a priority add this week, and it's a thin waiver wire this week. So yeah, Quentin Johnston should be one of your priorities. Talk a little bit more about that, Anthony, as well.
Yeah, Quentin Johnston had his second spike week of the year. Now, you remember, he also missed 2 games. So he played in 6 games, 3 over 12 PPR points, and then 2, he had exactly 22 and 22.1. In both of those games, he scores a touchdown. Last week, he brought the yards. He's actually scored 3 touchdowns, the 3 games where he went for double-digit PPR points, he's finding the end zone. My big issue with him is lack of volume. Outside of 1 game, he's gone under 5 targets. So he really is the new Mike Williams, which means to me he's the big play guy. He's the field stretcher, and that has volume in an offense like this that runs the football, and there's a threat of the play action pass, and somebody like Quentin Johnston, he gets loose. So, yeah, we're going to pick him up. We're going to be heading into a little bit more bye weeks. This week especially, it was drastic when it comes to wide receiver injuries. And all of a sudden, Quentin Johnston, who might be a player I'm not willing to start, I might have to start him because we don't know what's going on with Lamb, Olave, A.J. Brown. There's been a lot of wide receiver injuries this season and especially this week. So, yeah, when you can get a guy who could potentially hang over 20 PPR points on a defense at any time, we got to pick him up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
And just to add, when it comes, he's being targeted. Now, this is a low volume passing attack. He's still being targeted on 25.7% of the routes he is running. So, again, it's another guy, when he's on the field, the usage is there.
Yeah. And look, for what it's worth, I mean, talented receiver, first round guy, like, this is 1 year removed from being drafted in the first round. I'm not the biggest Quentin Johnston fan. Everybody on this show knows I'm not the biggest believer, but we are also of the mindset that you need to pivot off of your takes as we learn more data. And I think he's a fine addition for waivers this week. Let's check the chat and see. Lex Plant said Trey